All right, folks, welcome to this very special episode here from Pillar to Post, where I'm giving you my shot-by-shot analysis of the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer that just leaked this morning. We're going to kind of take it shot by shot, frame by frame here. We're going to pause it and give our analysis along the way of this trailer. So here we go. We start off with the Rockstar logo, of course, and that infamous Western-style music. All right, so here we see a guy putting together a putting out a campfire. We see birds in the background here. We see horses. We see brush. We see plants. We see mountains in the background. Snow-capped mountains in the background. Trees on a hill over here. Maybe even some structure. Actually, no, those are just mountains over here from what I'm seeing. So this is, this is kind of very exciting here, guys, in that we are, we're getting this type of CGI. Let me move this over here a little bit. Let me move this over here. Hold on. Sorry, guys. So we're seeing snow-capped mountains, birds flying, a guy putting out a campfire. We got a tent. Let's see what else they have to offer us here. Got that wonderful music. So this is they said that maybe we will get a living ecosystem here. So you're constantly going to see, maybe, we had cougars and mountain lions and deer and everything else in GTA 5. Maybe they've expanded upon that to where it's a living ecosystem. We have smoke coming up out of this fire. We see a running river, more mountains in the background, a big storm, maybe a snowstorm brewing over here. And up comes our protagonist.
You got some money for me, boy? I seen your name in our ledger.
So we see now a campfire set up here. We see fruit over here. We see, a pretty crazy looking campfire. We see a kettle for coffee. We see pots and pans, and maybe they're going to expand on this. Maybe we see hides drying in the background. Deer hides, rabbit hides, stuff like that drying in the background. We see, again, more rocks, trees, a beautiful sky in the background. But I think a couple things are important here to note. One is that the campfire is being expanded upon. Maybe we will get a campfire situation kind of like in Final Fantasy 15, where you actually have to cook meals and support yourself. I would love to see something like that. Kind of an RPG element built in there. Another thing is what our protagonist, Mr. Morgan, says here. In that he says, we will, you got any money for me? We found your name on our ledger. Will you be keeping a ledger of who owes you money and who doesn't owe you money? Will you be able to do this as a side quest, in a way to build your money up, is to go out and find people who owe you money or owe people money? Maybe you could become a bounty hunter as you could in the first Red Dead Redemption. Maybe I almost believe that bounty hunting is probably going to return here. It's that goes without saying. Bounty hunting is probably going to make a comeback here. But he goes, we saw your name in our ledger. You're the writing's on the wall for you. You better pay up. So that's interesting here. Got the classic Rockstar Games Presents done in the Grand Theft Auto style, or not Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption style lettering. We see more of a river down here winding throughout. Again, now we're up on the mountains. We see a horse riding up through a mountain, on a mountainside, on a mountain trail, and those dark clouds looming in the background. Very, very beautiful.
You're a wanted.
So the man's riding into town. Says wagons sold, all items bought. We see a gunsmith store. A.L. Dalton is the name of the gunsmith. We have a drugstore here. Powder, elixirs, tonics, stuff like that there. And we see our protagonist riding into town. We see a law office right here in the background. We got a law office, so who knows what that's going to do. Trying to see what that says in the background. I can't really tell what this says over here, but our protagonist riding into town, and as we heard, he's a wanted man.
Man, Mr. Morgan.
Mr. Morgan.
Maybe when your mother's finished mourning your father, I'll keep her in black on your behalf.
So that's a very daunting tale. A lot of people saying that's John Marston's grave. That was already popping up in chat rooms as I was watching. No, this is a prequel. This happens before. And a lot of people are going, how can it be a prequel if it's Red Dead Redemption 2? Metal Gear Solid 3 was a prequel in the start of the whole damn series, and that came out after 1 and 2. So don't give me that bullcrap. It's, the Star Wars thing, kind of, We already know what happens, but this is the second game in the overall series, so that's why it's Red Dead Redemption 2. It talks about, hey, after your mom's done mourning your dad, I'll keep her in black on your account, saying, hey, if you don't give me what I want, your mom's going to have more people to mourn. This is not a nice man. Mr. Morgan is not a nice man. The details in this CG are beautiful. Rockstar is a game where they finally get hair right, unlike WWE and 2K games, where they can never seem to get hair right in a wrestling game. But yet all these other people are even, busting out facial hair that looks more realistic than Triple H's hair used to, or Seth Rollins' hair still does. The braiding on this rope around the hat, just the brim of the hat here, you could see just the overall detail of the clothing is just very, very, very impressive here. Now the big thing that everybody's talking about on the internet today is that, oh my God, they changed it from a number 2 to a Roman numeral 2. It's not a big deal, guys. It's not really that big of a deal. So we got gangsters waiting in the wings, waiting on this train to stop, and our protagonist is going to make it stop here. This right here is how, we said that maybe this was going to be Grand Theft Auto 5 only set out in the West. And maybe I'm hoping it's not a direct copy, like and when I say direct copy, I'm hoping it doesn't have the same feel to it of here's 3 guys, here's what they're going to do to get money. Here's the heist that you have to set up. I want something from the norm with this. But I have a feeling that Rockstar is going to kind of give us that same formula. Only they're just going to slap a different setting and different characters on it. And you know what? People are like me. We're still going to buy it. So there you go. But this is alluding to train heists, train robberies. I don't think they're going to be called heists. I think they're called robberies in this game. So this is alluding to a train robbery as our main protagonist here, Mr. Morgan. Details on him is his name is Arthur Morgan, and we're going to be helping out the Vanderlyn gang as they rob, fight, and steal their way across the vast, rugged heart of America in order to survive. It's coming to PS4 and Xbox One spring of 2018. Funny how we still don't have an official release date. But here we go. Let's continue with this shot-by-shot analysis here. So we're stopping a train.
We got lawmen in 3 different states after us.
That's important. We got lawmen in 3 different states after us.
They chased us from the west. They chased us over the mountains.
So let's back up a little bit on that here. They chased us from the west, so we're not out west this time. They chased us over the mountains, which means this would put us east of the Rocky Mountains. This would put us maybe, and what's east of the Rocky Mountains? Louisiana. So therefore, that map that we were shown earlier, this year or last year, that map, that quote-unquote leaked map, may be the real thing. And there's a couple shots coming up here that indicate the same thing. So maybe this is us going, maybe we'll have to make that journey. We'll start off in the Old West or in Texas, and then we'll have to, make our way over the Rocky Mountains, and then we'll have to, they'll chase us over the mountains. So that tells the story right there of this game. They chased us from the west. We're not in the west. They chased us over the mountains, which means we're over the Rocky Mountains. So that right there is a big part of when and where this story takes place. So here we are. We're in a bank. We're throwing a teller back, telling them to open the vault. That right there, I wonder if this could be Javier Consuela. It could be. We're in a town setting right here. We're kind of like a Thieves Landing type setting here. We got guys sitting around drinking. Maybe this is like a poker table. Five Finger Filet comes back. We got wagons in the background. This guy is definitely like Native American or Mexican. He's got a Indian-style satchel. He's wearing non-traditional Westerner clothes. And, so he goes, we're going to need an extra gun. Could this be alluding to Mr. Marston? Could this be our second protagonist in this game? Because I firmly believe a lot of people are sitting there saying that they did not like the changing between the three guys. I like that aspect of Grand Theft Auto 5. I thought it was innovative. I thought it was well done. And I thought it was seamless in transitioning between the two. Yes, you got to put up a little bit of loading time. But now we're in the PS4 era. Maybe they could shorten that down a little bit. It looks like we're here in the South, in like the South, maybe that mid-South area of the U.S., Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas type area. We have some low-hanging trees here, moss-covered trees, willow trees, and those are the kind of trees that if you know anything about the U.S. and what grows where, those are the type of trees that you see in swamps and marshes. Louisiana, Florida, that area of the U.S. I know it's kind of silly talking about that in terms of Rockstar's universe because we have, instead of New York, we got Liberty City. So, but, whatever they're deciding to call this, this area, from Mafia, I think they said that the Mafia game that just got released recently was New Bordeaux. Maybe this is the starting of New Bordeaux down in Louisiana. Who knows?
Gun.
Again, we're riding along. It's raining, so you get to see some rain mechanics here. And we're jumping off bridges and onto trains.
This place.
That right there, this right here, where he's holding the guy up against the wall. Very, very telling here. We're in a big city. We're in a big, right there looks like an oil derrick. Maybe we're in an oil town. The down south is famous for their oil back in the day. Trains are rolling by, and we're pinning a guy up against a wall. Flowers down here, smoke rising up. A really, really good looking train here.
Ain't no such thing as civilized.
This place ain't no such thing as civilized. Very telling of that we're back east. Back in the day, they called it the Wild West for a reason. Right around the turn of the into 1900, the turn of the century, I guess you would say. The West was rugged. The West was lawless in most places. The West was, the wild. And then if you wanted to be uptight, if you wanted to be civilized, you went back east. You went to Chicago. You went to New York. You went to, those places back east where things were a little bit more lawful. Things were a lot more civilized. So this, again, tells me that we're not in the West. We are in the Mid-South. We're in the East. And it's very refreshing to me. Here we are. We're probably in the mountains here. He's wearing a bit of a fur coat. We're pulling off a train robbery because he's got gloves on. He's got the bandana up. Still, he's got a different hat on. This could be a different protagonist. We don't know. So here it is in the middle. Very telling here. We're getting into fights. Maybe this is like, your new duel. You can go and just kick somebody's ass and start a fight. We have a barber's center right here. Rooms for rent. So we have a border house right here as well. So, and we got people standing around watching. Alligators coming up. That's right. In North America, we have alligators. We don't have crocodiles. They're eating wild boars. So that's very cool right there. We're trudging through the swamps here into a... what they would call an alligator hunting shack, or maybe someone's house. So it's very telling to see what we have going on there. We got bow and arrows, so we're hunting now. We're having to hunt for our food, and we're hunting deer. So it's very cool to see a bow and arrow come into play here. We have bears, and now we have this woman right here. A lot of people are thinking that this could be Abigail.
You're the only one of these fools that
And she's not very, she's stabbing a man in his hand at a bar, so she's not a nice woman either, starting off. Part of Abigail, who goes on to be John Marston's wife, is that she was a prostitute. She was a whore. And John Marston got her out of that because he loved her so much. So maybe she's going to be a protagonist. I think that they're going to go all out here. I'm calling it right now. I'm going to say that we're not going to get to control 3 people. I think we're going to get to maybe even control 4. But that's pushing it a little bit. I'll say right now the 3 main people that we will be able to control is going to be Arthur Morgan, Javier Consuela, or whoever that Indian guy is, and then this person. We're going to be, I think this is Abigail. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to go ahead and call it now. This is Abigail. And I think because of this 2017 thing where we got to plead to everybody's ego and wants. We're going to have our first female protagonist here in a Rockstar game. You know, maybe not the first female protagonist, but as far as the open world genre goes, she's going to be the first, and it's going to be pretty cool to actually play as a woman.
I trust.
We're lassoing horses. Maybe this is, you know, we're on a ranch. Kind of looks like the McFarland's ranch from the first one, but I don't think it is quite that, because down south they have plantations. So I think we're on a plantation here. You can see a water pump right here, and we're wearing overalls, and we're doing hard labor here trying to lasso the horse here, the black stallion, and he doesn't look very well. Look at his face right there. He doesn't look very well at all.
Where's our money?
Where's our money? We were back to wearing the usual hat here, the worn rugged hat. And we're wanting our money. We're stabbing people in the back, as you can see right here. We're stabbing people in the back. And this is definitely a swamp area. This is definitely... You can tell that they've taken their time and that they've actually studied the geography of the United States, the agriculture of the United States, the architecture, dare say, of the United States during this time period. This is Louisiana, folks. Sorry, there's no way around it. This is Louisiana. You got moss hanging from the trees. This is in the bayou. This is in Louisiana, Cajun country. I guarantee. We better see a guy talking Cajun down there in the bayou. I guarantee. So we're walking away from explosions, dual-wielding handguns. Now, we don't know if that's going to be a part of the game or not, but it's definitely happening here in the trailer. It's been raining. Look at this detail on the hat, just the shimmer on the hat. It could be oil on his hat. Could be, my guess, though, is that it just rained because we're wearing an overcoat. You can even see strands of rain dripping down from his coat here. The neck of his coat is worn. Just the detail in this is amazing to me.
Do you have...
And here we get our look at Dutch Vanderlyn right here, the leader of the gang. He's a very, you know, you could tell that he's the leader. He does dirty work, but he only does it when he absolutely has to. He's wearing the gambler style vest. If you ever seen that movie with Mel Gibson in it, Maverick. This is what it reminds me of. It's a very if Tom Selleck was to do Maverick, this is what it reminded me of. He's wearing the velvet vest with the handkerchief in it, the striped shirt, the nice dress shirt. He's got his hair slicked back. He's got the mustache. He's freshly groomed. Needs a bit of a shave, but hey, and he's got rings on his fingers. He's all tender-footed up, if you will.
My bag.
So we're walking away. He goes, "Have you got my back?" And here I think we're going to see, you know, these are not our three main guys, but these are definitely members of the gang with our protagonist there. And they've burnt down whatever plantation we were seeing earlier.
Always Dutch.
And he says, "Always Dutch. I've always got your back, Dutch." So Dutch is sitting there leaning up against the barrel going, you know, this is very old school Western, man. I love it. Have you got my back? And he's like, "Always, Dutch." And then we go back here. I want to go ahead and get to this final shot. It's actually snowing in the background. And we got a guy shooting from a horse. Detail. Again, just, man, I hope the real game, like the actual gameplay, is this detailed and this seamless. Just look at you can actually see the grains of the horse's hide. You know, like the nerves on the skin right here. It's so damn beautiful. And there we have it.
Product not yet rated.
Red Dead Redemption 2 from Rockstar Games, spring of 2018. A lot of people are saying that they're going to try to get this in before the quarter changes over in March. I don't think they will. They've had such a good year with GTA 5 and GTA Online that this fiscal year could kind of speak for itself. So when late March rolls around, they want to kick that second quarter in, I guess, with a bang. And I think maybe spring of 2018, they waited until the last day of summer to tell us that the trailer was coming, okay? Not just this trailer. They waited until the last day of summer to tell us you're getting a trailer. So here it is fall, and we're getting the actual trailer. So they really gave us nothing during the summer except for a trailer announcement. When they say spring 2018, take that with a grain of salt. They're playing this close to the chest. I honestly think that this game is going to get delayed. I think it may get delayed till summer. I hope not. I want to see this. I'm gonna pre-order it. This is probably bigger for me than playing WWE 2K18. This is a big one for me, guys. I love the first Red Dead Redemption. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this video up here. I would like to thank you guys for watching, and we will see you down the road.